On 3 and 2 and live from the 6th subfloor basement of the Guys, Games, and Beer Tower. It's the podcast that just can't get started at all. Guys, Games, and Beer!
Yay! Sounds like my sex life.
Hooray for round
Yeah,
two.
just can't get started at all.
Yeah,
Send us blue pills, please.
What's that?
Send us blue pills, please.
Yeah, a little blue pill. All right, so
And Cam 2's down. Way to go! That's alright. Cam was up.
all right.
Okay.
Wow, yeah, Cam 2's black.
Yeah, but you still got the blue light.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So why don't we go ahead and do?
Ba-da-ba.
No, wait for it. Oh, never mind.
Ba-da-bum-bum.
Ba-da-bum-bum-bum.
Beer Court, the failure level. Jesus.
All right, what do we got tonight, Larry?
We have the Commuter. This is the Coach style beer from One Barrel out of Madison, Wisconsin. This is the true style that originated in Germany. And the Coach is unfiltered and cold condition. The result is a beer that is clean, refreshing, crisp, without any fruity notes.
Yay for no fruity notes.
Does it say that in there?
No, I threw that part in.
Thank you.
It is an agreeably boring beer. I mean, without being boring.
Okay, it's definitely an unfiltered beer.
Yeah, you can.
There's shit on the bottom.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's all vitamin B, so you can drink that.
All right, well, good to know.
So-
Vitamin bastard.
That's
Vitamin
right.
B.
So.
Look at that. Cam 2's back up.
All
Come on, people, let's go.
Round
Round
of beer or what?
Oh. Sorry, I was super focused.
He was focused. Yeah, that's
By the way, being opened by the official Gutter Geeks opener. Thanks
You
to
know, on that
Vidya
camera.
Gamer. Thanks to Vidya Gamer.
You know, on that camera.
I'm on that camera.
Okay.
When I do it, it's on the right camera. 'Cause we don't
All right. So yeah. So
it's good.
I think
Not
I think it is what it is.
Yeah, it's a culture. There's nothing spectacular about it,
Yeah.
but it's not bad.
I see, I might
drink
chill.
a lot of these.
I was just about to say.
Yeah,
I
it's
can
only
find
4.
I can
myself-
sit down outside by a fire and just pound these.
Yeah.
It's 4.8, so it's a little lower, and bitterness is only 22, so
Really
which you
low.
wouldn't
If
expect
I
for this
was,
style
like,
beer.
smoking
Anyways,
some meat, I can
so,
see myself
but
sitting
it is-
out there having one of these in that. That'd be
Like to me, this is very much like Spotted Cow. It's like a beer that you can just sit down and just.
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
it
I
doesn't
agree.
taste anything like Spotted Cow.
No. It's a Kolsch, but it's a drinkable, very
That's what I mean.
drinkable beer.
Exactly,
Yeah.
that's what I was trying to get at.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think Spotted Cow is just a little bit better.
Yeah, I will challenge them on the agreeable without being boring part.
I'm gonna. Yeah, you're right. I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna give
challenge them
it
on
the
that.
agreeable.
Yes, but not necessarily. Not
I think
boring.
it's probably a fairly boring beer.
Yeah,
That's,
yeah. No, I will agree with that. It's fine. It's nothing. It's something. It's oh my god, I gotta try that again. But like you said, I could sit down and pound them down.
Yeah,
And I
In
would
fact,
find,
I'm doing a pretty good job on this one right now.
right. So if you were at a party and
I
there
could
was
definitely get these. Like this is something I'd
grab these.
Yeah.
Like if I'm looking for something nice, easy, nothing too intense, just like oh
No.
yeah, there we go.
Might even ask for it at the bar.
Might. If I wanted something a little bit, smoother and
But it feels like it doesn't sit heavy either.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't have a lot of bubble in it.
So like if you're eating food and stuff, this would be another good beer.
Yeah. All right. What do you say, panel?
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
All right.
I mean, I get no.
No, I understand. It is you're right. It's touched on the boring side. I'm just saying it's a very drinkable beer.
Yeah,
So-
that's why I'm giving it the thumbs up.
So again, yeah, if you get a chance to pick it up, definitely pick it up. Judge Rob, go ahead and pass verdict on it.
On the charge of being a butterface, I find you. What? Guilty! And sentence you to drinking!
Wait, you were recently watching Shameless?
no,
Hey, you went up with
No.
Butterface?
No,
Oh.
butterface is just part of my general vernacular. Because I'm all class like that.
How about asinine?
Asinine?
Yes.
Why?
Well,
I probably said
This is
asinine today,
9.5.
didn't I?
You know what? Just
But
you know what just dawned on me? You know what just dawned on me?
Face is butterface,
That
but her ass
this
is not.
this would be a good beer if I was focused on playing some games in an arcade.
There you go. You're right.
That's-
It would be a really good one if you were sitting
Yeah.
and playing a whole bunch of arcade games, maybe even some old console games.
Yeah.
Because you could drink a lot of this and probably still stay sober enough to play.
But where should I play?
Well, that's a good question. Where would you play? I mean, you could go out to the arcade, but
Yeah, but
They don't like
I don't
you
know.
bringing
They don't want
beer
to
into them.
drink or drive. So,
that's true. And they don't like you.
So I
bringing
probably
beer
got to
in.
stay home. So
So that, I suppose, brings us to tonight's topic, Larry, with that ham-fisted segue. I want a graphic of a big ham fist on Larry slamming down on our head.
Yeah, I'll do that.
well, you were supposed to say. Well, then I
I'll
think
do
you
that
got to
when I got
design. You got to design your best
Home arcade. So we're talking tonight about home arcades. And the reason this topic came up is why, gentlemen?
Well, our fellow member who is not here. Nice.
Just reopened.
Yes. So Ryan reopened his basement as his new arcade. I don't know there was specifically an arcade before.
He did have, he had his machines
He had
down
elements.
there.
Right,
He
he
had
just-
elements.
Made it all pretty now.
Yeah, he did. He made it very pretty.
Well-
where is Ryan tonight, by the way, Rob?
Well, all right. So this is actually something that we should have put into a PSA. I think it is very important for people to remember to sanitize their controllers after using them. Now, Ryan got a very rare form of syphilis that you get off of controllers. Now, it wasn't helped by his play style, which is, of course, controlling the joystick with his ass. Now, he has been doing very good competitively, mostly because people won't touch the other joystick. But, unfortunately...
You use this one over here, Ryan? Yeah, I'm out.
Unfortunately, when you're doing that... Unfortunately... 0-10, bitches!
I did notice our stack of cash here is a bit smaller.
So, learn from Ryan and make sure to, thoroughly clean your joysticks after use.
I think that goes for every sense of the word.
All right, so Ryan...
So I got busted.
Ryan did go ahead and remodel. He had, like I said, he had some full-size video games down there. He had some of his
Flash 'em up on
consoles
the
set
screen
up.
here.
Yeah,
Not
but
him riding the
he
joystick,
also had,
I mean,
he also had a pool table.
Yeah, he had a pool
and,
table down there.
And and some of the tables, it was just like on tables and that. And,
Yeah.
thing, but he wanted to take it to a more
Oh,
defiant.
He definitely took it
you
to...
know, this is an arcade. It's not a rec room. This is an arcade room.
Right.
It's about video games, and he went straight for it.
He did too. Holy crap, that room turned out amazing. Just the arrangement's good. There's plenty of... He left the center open, so you've got lots of room to, walk down and play. I like the fact he took into account... So, again, for those of you who caught the show, Larry's into shooting gallery games. So he intentionally made one side of the benches higher for shooting gallery games so that the monitor is at the right height. So you did notice that the one side was up here.
Yeah.
It's set so you can do one of two things. Shooting gallery games is what it's really set for, but it also makes a good place to stand and play. You don't have to sit. He put high stools on that side too, but that was a really good thought, to put the monitors up high on one side for either shooting gallery or standing at. So that worked out really, really well. And just the whole overall setup. He's got the video games down one side and the other side, and then he put some home computer systems. Actually, he has a couple of video games there too on that. He also had how many? Ryan's got what? 2 stand-up machines now.
He has two. He has two.
Yeah.
He's got 2 stand-up machines and a pinball machine.
Right, and he put those on the end of the benches. So the benches wrap completely around the room. I think Rob put a picture of it up.
I did. I took it down.
Okay.
It's back up.
Yeah.
It is
While
back
you're
on.
talking.
So you can see the arrangement here. It really works out great.
So, I think he does have a nice system. He's got a few clever things we can go back to talking to. But here's the question. Like, okay, so what do you need in an arcade? A home arcade to like really make it feel like, okay, this is an arcade and this is.
I don't think you have to make it feel like an arcade. Let me explain the reason to
Okay.
have a home
All right.
arcade. Okay. The problem is if you're collectors like the rest of us, you get a lot of systems, and it's great to have a ton of systems, but unless they're hooked up and ready to go, you're not going to use them. It's going to sit in the closet and collect dust. It's going to sit in the attic and collect dust. It's going to sit down in the basement and collect dust. One of the things that we've all been working on is getting our systems set up so that they're always usable. If you can just walk in the room, turn the power on, and go, you're actually more apt to play that system, especially retro systems where maybe there's one or two titles that you really like on it, but it's only one or two titles. But you're still, you're into it for whatever the retro reason is. If you don't have it set up, you're not going to use it. The time it takes you to set it up will be a deterrent from using it. That was the original reason for me setting up my retro room. I wanted everything set up and ready to go at a moment's notice. Now, whereas Ryan put monitors on each system all the way around the room, I did, and I know Rob did too. We did something a little bit different. We actually have video switchers. So...
Well, and that's see, I'm going to challenge you a little bit, and that, because the topic is about a home arcade, right?
Yeah.
As opposed to as opposed to what might be considered like
Or just having a video game hooked to your TV.
a home command center,
Right. Or just
You
or
know.
just having a video game hooked to your TV. That's not the same. Again, you may have your Xbox or your PS4 or whatever hooked to your TV up front, but that's not the same. You're very limited to what you can do on that.
So we agree. Yeah, I'm going to be cantankerous today.
Be cantankerous.
We agree though that it must be a dedicated space area.
Yes.
There's nothing else that's going on there.
No,
You're not watching the football game there.
Right. It's not a
Yeah.
home theater that you've hooked up a bunch of video games in. I actually have in my front room where I watch TV, I have multiple systems there too. But that's not my retro game area or my home arcade. If you look in the front room, I've got the Dreamcast hooked because I've got multiple systems. I've got the Dreamcast, the 360,
Your most commonly used ones.
Yeah, well, ones that I'm more apt to use. But I've got a cabinet full of game systems up front that I can switch over to that TV. But that's not the same as having a dedicated area where it's, again, everything's hooked up, everything's ready to go. There's no fiddling, there's no fooling around. But as I was saying, and that goes back down to, you don't have to have a ton of space. If Ryan had a lot of space, so it's cool that he got all these monitors set up. But that takes up a lot of space and generates a fuck ton of heat, as we found out on Saturday night.
Oh, that's true. I mean, you probably I don't know if he considered the heat factor when he was originally designing.
Well, he probably would have everything going like that most of the time. The fact he had all the systems going and the place was crowded, we were packed.
But he
that
probably wanted some way to sort of
Yeah.
blow that heat out of there.
Yeah, that would probably be a good idea in the long run too. Would be to
He
consider.
did have a small fan in the window.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Because again, you put that many
Part of it was
CRT
we were making
monitors
pizza
going.
too.
Right.
He was making pizza.
Go with the dual window fans, and I don't know what the technology or what the mechanics are, but a dual window fan is so much more effective than a big fan or a box fan or a single one.
Screw
They-
that. He needs an external fan that's the size of a small car to suck the
Oh
air.
yeah. No, but so. Yeah, so
If you could put in
then
a
just
raised
tubing so there's
floor with
airflow.
air conditioning on it,
even better. Yeah, but do the
Or air
hydraulic
conditioner.
cooler.
I like my impractical plan better, Rob.
I think you hit it on the
All right,
nail.
but it has
It
to
has
be
to
ice
be a
cubes.
dedicated space.
Guess what?
Blow over ice cubes.
So some of the things you need a dedicated space,
yeah.
and you need to be able to set stuff up and leave it set up.
That
But
I
that
think
goes
is-
back
but
with
I
having
have a
dedicated
question.
space.
I have a question, and then is amount of space. And maybe the goal has to, you have to keep in mind, I guess, is it just for you, yourself, and I, or are you planning on entertaining with it?
Well,
If you're planning on entertaining with it, the switchers probably aren't going to be as effective.
You need
Sure.
at least more than one TV.
right. You have to multiple monitors if that's the case. Yeah, if you plan on using it like an
It also
arcade.
depends on when you say entertain. Are you talking about how many people? Because
Right.
if it's you enough to
Yeah,
four
I
players,
mean,
most
I'm going to be
lot of systems
reasonable.
handle that.
Yeah.
I think you should be able to bring 4 or 5 people into your space
I
play.
still think you can do that with maybe 2 monitors or 3 monitors. You don't have to have a monitor for each system.
Yeah, you have. How many monitors do you got on yours?
In my room,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 3 monitors.
I've only got 2. One's huge.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. I've got the big
Oh,
16
you're
inch.
making
Yeah.
a quality.
And I should say
Yeah.
4 if you
I-
want to include my
I- I
projector.
Have one.
Yeah.
I also,
Yeah, you can throw a
Yeah,
projector
I'm
in
not
there.
an
Yeah, you can throw a
collector.
projector
I
there.
have.
now that does. How many you got on set up?
Oh, I'm not an avid collector. I have one TV, and my idea for when I actually get a house in space is to go pinball machine. That's big for me, and then a big projector screen that I can, plug in the 3 game systems that I have and play them up on the big wall.
That was another challenge I wanted to put out there. So if you wanted to say, "Oh yeah, I got this home arcade," and then do you need a traditional machine, a stand up, a pinball,
I'm big on pinball. I love pinball.
bowling
Yes.
puck machine?
Some kind of a genuine arcade machine. I'd say no.
I
But
say
it's nice
yes.
to have.
Yeah, I'm not.
I say yes. Yeah, I think you feel like you gotta have one.
I just can't see why. I mean, there's so many good gaming systems out there. And you can put, again, you can put a big collection.
I mean,
look
just-
at
yeah,
Ryan's. Ryan's got 2 machines in there. It's not those machines that make it the arcade. Those machines
But no,
So at what
I
point does
feel
it
like
actually become an arcade machine? What if I have a TV, a computer running an emulator, and a fighting game board in front of me?
yeah, full size stick.
Do I need? Is it about
Yeah,
that?
I mean,
Like
I know-
or is
I
it
know,
about
I
I
got-
need all
I
that
got
wood
the-
just to hold it?
Yeah,
I got the twin
Is it
set
that?
with the
I'll build you something. For
what is
that.
it? The
Build
Pandora
you a
box
kit.
or
Pandora's box, yeah.
Pandora box, and it's a 2,
That's
and I
what I
got
do
to
for
hook to
mine.
a screen.
Yeah.
and
Oh, that's
That's
Pandora
right. I know,
box. You got one. They're freaking awesome.
and they are good and hooked to me. But there's something about this was once a quarter eating machine that I just feel like is.
I feel that's more of an aesthetic thing.
I agree. I think it's an
Yeah.
aesthetic
But I
thing.
think it's a good aesthetic.
Oh, it's a
I'm
good
not gonna-
aesthetic
yeah.
if you've got room for it.
Or money, because that's
Right.
a big thing holding it up as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, the money thing can be kind of questionable as far as like you can find deals out there and stuff like that, and I think it's
also
worth
just an
looking
investment
for.
in general that some people like, well, I just kind of want to play my games. I don't want to invest that much in something like that.
Because I got to tell you, when we went and
Also, I'm
to
still classified as broke college student.
Shane's.
I don't have that much.
Yeah.
we went to Shane's, and I mean, he had all those stand-up machines.
And that's basically what Shane has. Shane doesn't have consoles and stuff. Shane's got a whole bunch of stand-up machines.
He's
in
got
his room.
stand-up machines.
Yeah.
Individual dedicated stand-up machines. Again, we're going back to dedicated. Things
Yeah.
that are dedicated, right?
I mean, isn't
But-
a video game system a dedicated?
Yeah, I see. That's
System
I.
isn't a,
that's
no,
what
not
I-
necessarily. If it can get a football game, it can get the football game, right? It's not a dedicated machine.
If you got
Well,
an
that's
old,
already
if you have an old
Xbox.
monitor or something hooked up to it.
Sorry.
I mean, one of
my
mine gets
PlayStation
television, the
is
other one doesn't.
dedicated to watching movies and to playing games.
Yeah,
That's why I want
but
a
it's
big
also
screen.
dedicated to movies then too, right? That's where I'm challenging. That's what I'm challenging is that in order to have a home arcade, what makes a great home arcade?
Then I guess
Right.
I'd be having more of a home movie.
You
theater
might have
slash
a
arcade.
an entertainment system. You might have a nice. What makes a great arcade, home arcade?
pinball.
Yeah.
Really, you want to know what? Is that it has the games you want and it's dedicated to playing games.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
It's a
what the
dedicated
games are.
area. Yeah, I think you're right. It's dedicated to playing games.
A
It
lot
goes
of
back
people
to
aren't
what you
into
originally
games.
said.
Yeah,
They
that
don't
was
like full
poetic.
arcade cabinets. Maybe their main thing was Call of Duty. It doesn't matter what it is as long as they have a dedicated setup for gaming.
Yeah.
And that's
And-
what it is.
Beanbag chairs.
I really would like beanbag chairs. in my-
You know, I'm
Check
not
out
going
Buff
to say no
Sack.
to
They've
that.
got, they've got amazing beanbag style chairs.
I gotta say, I really
Like, I have my main consoles, like you do. I'm in my living room. I have the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, and the Switch hooked up to that TV. But then upstairs, I don't watch movies up there, but I have the Xbox 360, the PlayStation 3, the Super Nintendo, Nintendo, Sega. All that is hooked up to that TV with a Switch and just a 42-inch screen TV, and that's what I use.
Right.
But that's all that I do up there is gaming.
See, and that's it. You've got that dedicated area where stuff is set up and ready to go.
And that's where my desktop PC is for gaming.
Right. See, and that's it. Honestly, even for a home arcade, I can even think of and I have my gaming PC in the same room I have all my other systems.
Can my mini arcade be counted? All my little tiny mini.
Yes.
Yes, they
little
can.
Tiny mini arcades.
No, you know that
I have a line of those.
I think it's wherever you have your gaming setups.
That's dedicated just
Right. That I think is the only thing that you have to stipulate about a home arcade. And again, when we say arcade, we're using the term of a place to play games. Remember, that's all an arcade means. It doesn't mean all electronics machines. Doesn't mean pinball machines. Home arcades are arcades are just places where they had games.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think
Because an arcade cabinet is just a cabinet that's for arcades.
exactly. I think as long as you've got a dedicated place, that is really what defines it. You know. Yeah, if you're doing other stuff on the computer besides gaming, well, maybe that's a little less dedicated. But you know,
That's porn.
right? Okay, well, yeah.
But that can be considered a
A
fun
camp
game.
room.
Sorry, I did hear you
Hey.
mention your minis, and I gotta be honest. I think I'd have to diorama
has
though, or
Oh, now
and
that
like-
would be fucking
like
awesome.
create a little box with all these arcades,
Black lights
you
in
know,
it.
black lights.
Yeah, I'll put that. I do have like little posters behind me.
Well, that's
That's
another
a
thing. I
diorama.
mean,
Has games.
What's that?
Some porn has games.
That's true too. Yes.
so I mean, I guess what I'm trying to get the idea of is, and maybe it's what makes it different to have a home arcade than just a nice gaming area?
Well, have you shown the
do you
picture?
put
of my
in? You
area?
got to put in lighting, like you said. Oh, as soon as I said a diorama, there's I'll put on black
Yeah.
lighting
No,
and all that.
I think you can
you
do
know?
little touches to make it. Posters on the
Hold on
wall.
a second. No, actually, I just had yours queued up.
Okay.
So,
Posters on the wall, stuff like that does make a difference. So when I made my room, one of the things I wanted to do was lighting effects, because lighting does make a difference. You know, yes. Now it's not an absolute critical thing, but if you add a little bit of lighting to an arcade area or your game area, it definitely can make a big difference. You know, whether it's putting black lights in the ceiling, whether it's putting colored
Well,
lights in
it's-
some bulbs, whether it's having just a little dimmer in there.
Which of course is so much easier nowadays than it used to be.
Exactly, and that's very
Because,
true
I mean,
too.
you could just put in, the strip lighting all over the place, and you can have it any color you want.
Yeah,
And
well,
it
thank
ain't even
freaking
done.
God for strip lighting. Believe me, I do.
LEDs have made lighting, cool lighting, so much. You used to have like neon for almost all this.
yeah. So no, I use strip lighting.
So lighting is a thing that is important.
I think it can make a big difference. It can really, again, I don't think it's a mission critical thing, but it is important. I feel it's important. I mean, if you look what Ryan did with his, he arranged the lights so he can dim down those areas.
And he put in the LED controllable lights in the ceiling.
Right. So
Yeah, I mean the picture we showed of his of what he
was just lit
was
with white
full
light.
bright lighting.
Right, but he can do colored bulbs.
But-
All
yeah.
those bulbs are color changing bulbs.
Right, so he can put in the more arcade lighting, which in an arcade, see, and maybe this topic is getting lost to some of the sands of time, because the number of people that went to arcades, and how many arcades are there and stuff. I mean, although like
Arcades are going.
Yeah, barcades,
Garcade and Garcade is more directed at more of a family thing.
That's a old
and
school arcade.
And some others, the one in Madison.
Yeah.
And then that's not a barcade at all. That's just a straight
arcade. Yeah.
And
Galloping Ghost. Yeah.
Galloping Ghost, and so there are a few out there,
Amazing
and
place.
so it's not like younger generations can't
But
come
I
in.
don't think
and,
they're like the old school arcades.
Garcade is
More so than most. More so
yeah,
than
I mean,
most.
it's got
yeah.
the lighting and
Yeah.
it's the dim lighting,
Which makes a
so
difference.
I think it does. I think that does make a difference.
Dim
And so-
lighting is important actually for old school arcade experience.
for a couple reasons. One, it made the games easier to see.
Yeah. Well, that's a perfectly good reason. Glare
You weren't
is
getting
not your
glare
friend.
off the screen
Yeah.
and all that, So that was a lot of indirect lighting, man. A lot of indirect lighting.
Yeah.
But
And
also
so-
gave it ambiance.
So I guess it's kind of like maybe which would you rather have, like a couple stand-up machines in like a dim lighting, and or like a whole lot of machines and I mean I don't know. I'm challenging out there.
I myself, again, I like the old because I came up in the late 70s, early 80s. So that was the heyday of arcades, the external arcades, where you had, and the original ones being the Aladdin castles and things like that. Again, dim lights, black lights going, it was all part of the experience. So I think you can make your arcade room feel more like an old school arcade by adding the right color lighting and things like that. And like you said, it's a lot easier than it used to be. I mean, even putting up all black lights, those were the old, big fluorescent lights you used to have to put up. Now, again, you can put up single bulbs and they'll do black.
You're not convinced one old school arcade machine
is necessary now.
Is necessary, like one pinball machine, one.
No, I think I think the dedicated area. I think that's all you have to have.
I was getting to earlier, I disagree with that so much because you're arguing for a wooden box. Because in the end, that's all an arcade cabinet is. It is a wooden box that holds the electronics. What if I have the joystick?
I disagree with you. I disagree with you wholeheartedly, especially when it comes to machines that have a special type controller of some kind.
Okay,
and those are the machines. Those are the machines that are the ones that are really.
He said he was.
They're both hard to get to, and they're.
Okay, what if I?
And pinball, for example, that's again another. It's not the same to play pinball on a screen. It's just.
Oh no, it's not.
I mean, I like it. I still do it.
So if I don't have an arcade cabinet that's unique like that, mine doesn't count.
Yes.
That's like
Hey, wait. So
no, I'm challenging it out.
Wait, did mine count until I pulled my Arkanoid machine out of there?
That's right.
In the back room.
I'm sorry.
Apparently,
it's no longer an
I
arcade.
quit being an arcade.
Now, do you have a picture of yours?
Huh?
Do you have a picture of yours?
Not a modern one. I've got an older one. Here, I'll do.
Yeah,
I'll
throw
do
the older
a
one.
really old one.
He's done a ton of upgrades since then.
Most of the stuff isn't there.
Right.
Sadly, this is before. This was when it was still under construction.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Needless to say, he's really
the
filled
Mega
the room
Switch
up.
wasn't in there
Yeah,
yet.
he's really filled the room up since then.
Yeah, this is a pretty old picture.
You know,
it doesn't have any art because I did put art up.
Tons
that
of
is one of my big
I
things.
think that's a good way though to make the home arcade feel more like a home arcade.
And now
you
there's
can cheat,
extra
by the
monitors
way,
shoved in there too.
by just putting a Vectrex in every one of them.
Right, I have a Vectrex in mine, so
Yeah.
there we go. I see it.
I'm sorry, that's not a full arcade cabinet. It doesn't count for.
No, it's an
Wait, I also have
It's an
PS2
arcade
with a screen and a PlayStation 1 with a screen attached to it, and an Xbox with a screen attached. So none of them are set up in this picture, but still, they're there.
They weren't built that
They're
way.
closed. Oh yeah,
No, they weren't.
yeah. The PS1 totally came as a kit with that in it. So there.
But it was still separate pieces. You could snap it off and hook it to a regular TV or whatever. So it's not.
Nah,
the
you're
same.
totally
It's
not
not the
that.
same.
You're talking silliness.
Not the same.
No.
Nobody ever did that.
So
Larry's just getting old on us.
no, I understand his thing, and he's right for certain.
That he's old.
But I don't.
And I haven't.
I
You
don't
see the
think-
gray in the beard. It's
I
not
don't
really in news.
Yeah, I don't think that affects so much your home arcade area as it does the experience on certain particular games, and that's a whole other topic. Whereas,
Well, and no, I get that, but it's I don't, and this is where I'm trying to, what I'm kind of trying to get at is that what separates the arcade experience to I'm playing my PlayStation.
having that dedicated area set up and ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, because I wouldn't consider because obviously this isn't the only room where I have even multiple consoles. It is a dedicated game room. It does nothing really but gaming. Whereas, most of the time we use our TV room for gaming. Do you ever see it there where there's not two Xboxes set up for gaming?
Right. I mean,
by the way, they have a desk. Those also have a case with a screen attached
up
to
to
them.
the TV.
Right,
They're
but
an
you, still
arcade,
have,
apparently.
but you still have a dedicated gaming area.
But I
I
would
do have
consider
that
that
too.
like my game room.
And that it's that you hit it right at the beginning. It's the question of having a dedicated area.
Yeah, but does the pool table distract?
Yeah, that does have to go.
Well, why? It's a game too.
No, it doesn't.
Because it's not an
distract.
arcade cabinet, Larry.
Only if you put a Vectrex on top of it.
But
then
no.
it's okay.
So see, and again, you've done the same thing. Having stuff in your living room or like a family room or something is not the same. Also, here's
having a dedicated
here's the
game.
plus side of having a dedicated arcade. If the wife or husband are having company over, the rest of you can go back to the dedicated game room and play. You're not cutting anybody off of the TV from watching the TV.
You're not in the way of the party.
You're not in the way of whatever is going on. That's that having that dedicated space.
So the difference is somebody has to open a door, yell, "Would you guys shut up?" and then close it again. Then you're all right.
Which is usually the case.
So, like my
I'm
bedroom.
still not sold.
My bedroom. I have
Still
what,
not
3
sold.
consoles in
Right
there
there.
and a million handhelds.
Yeah, got
Right?
you.
But it's not a game room. Well, it is, but not for that reason at all.
Rob, handheld does not mean your hand on your junk.
Or naked twister with oil.
Handhelds can't even be part of an
Never mind.
Thank you.
arcade.
All right, then I'm safe.
Never mind, that counts.
Then I have like 3 game rooms.
Handhelds do not count as part of the game room.
Have you seen my handheld
They-
collection?
I
I believe
don't
it
care.
does.
No, they
I
count.
don't care. They do not count.
Yes, they
Now-
do.
now-
They do not
Yeah.
count.
Now here's the thing: are
Okay,
we
what
getting
if I
into
plug my Game Boy
arcade
game into
or are we
Super
getting
Game Boy and
into
play it on
game
TV?
room?
Doesn't count.
Now, Larry, here's the thing:
Larry
It's
hates
covering
saying
everything
gaming.
Larry says, and he's just angry.
you keep saying game room now. Are you talking about a game room or an
Well,
arcade?
that's just it.
Because
See,
I'm
you
into
guys
board
have
games.
convinced me that a
We
game
kind of took
room.
this as a game room.
Oh, I
kinda
want
took
an
it as a game room,
arcade, right? An arcade, right? So
I think arcades, so I'm thinking electronic games specifically.
I see. I have to agree. I'm thinking electronic games.
'Cause I would not
okay.
count
Most
a
arcades
board-
have a air hockey in it,
True, but that's still electronic game.
Because
depending on the
I
air
would
hockey
then have
quality.
a-
Yeah, all right.
then I would have a game room and not an arcade because I
Hey,
am
Ryan!
so much more into
Hey!
board games
How's the syphilis?
than I am with.
Sorry.
Oh no, I kind of didn't have
You
a way.
backed off when he said syphilis. So like, oh, don't talk about me now.
It made me think about how much money we lost.
No, I don't know, man.
It's a
I
bad
guess
back.
I got
I
some
think you
visions,
fit it.
man. I got some visions in it. It's just like it's hard for me to back off on those.
No, I understand for you, but that's a home arcade to you. You know what the bottom line is? A home arcade is whatever you decide to set up. Whether it's you have a single machine in a room. I just think the only thing is the dedicated space. To me, that I think is the important part. It has to be a place of its own. It can't be your front room with a
It's
whole
gonna
bunch of
be
games
a
up
long
to it.
time before I ever
Because
get a stand up.
right.
Is mine not an arcade to you? You asshole.
First of all, you don't. You can get a stand up for not that much, okay?
No, but in fact,
they're not.
I did
We're gonna
see-
go in. We're gonna go after
It's also
Thanksgiving.
about
We're gonna go
having a
get one.
place for
We
it
can
and
probably
moving
pick
it.
you
I
up
don't
one
want
for
my
$1,
own
okay?
Yeah, did you see the what was it, the Quasi K Junior today? $350? That was a good deal on
That was a good deal. See, not hard.
I got no room for it.
No, that's more to the point.
Because my arcade room's filled with damn games. I can't fit in another arcade. I think that is part of the problem. I literally could not fit that Arkanoid game in there.
That's why you took it out.
There's
Yeah.
no room for it. There's
I'd
no.
love to not
It was
only have
better with it.
space,
If you can find a.
but the money
Nah.
to get.
You never kneeled and played it.
You may not have the space for
No, this is where Ryan totally
IGT
got it right.
machine
You got
in
it
the
right.
group.
Height things.
It was on a.
Initial D.
Oh, initial D would be freaking awesome.
And it could be just one single one, but I'd really love to get 2 for that link.
You know, it's
But I would need the room and the
talk to
money.
Travis. The new PC Initial D emulator
Oh, I've already
is
talked to him
freaking
about that.
amazing.
Welcome
Because-
to Initial D Talk.
Well, because this goes back down to okay. So now that
Chaos!
now wait a minute. Now that brings up the point. So home arcade.
In an age of distress.
You know how big initial D machines are. I mean, that's the full size sitting racing machine now.
Probably about the size of this end of the table.
Oh, at least.
At
As
least.
best as I can tell, $1.
Yeah, racing machines are cheap. Probably not an initial D machine because those actually are pretty cool.
Yeah.
But
last
the
one
but
I
the
saw
problem
was
being is,
$350.
if you had room for them, you'd need, if let's say you wanted 2 of them, you'd need a fairly big home arcade. Now, what's to say you don't get a good PC with a good steering wheel setup and brake and pedal setup on it, and set that a couple of those up, as long as they're dedicated to playing Initial D.
Yeah.
Doesn't that kind of make your home arcade a decent arcade? Just put it out there. You know, I mean, No, I understand.
Well, at least that's a special controller.
Right. Well, and that's.
So that's
what I was also gonna
that's
do.
There you go. I have
For-
scads of special controllers. So.
I understand your point on that.
special
I really do.
controller.
And that's part of a full-size game experience.
Special controller. I want to get, a in the groove machine, but that is, size of that back wall, pretty much. It's effectively better DDR. But, yeah. So therefore, I get, some actual
Right,
made
all
up
of us.
control pads
in
to do
wait,
this.
I'll do it out here. Hey, all of us. So just contact us.
What if I say this first? Dibs.
All
Ah.
right, well, there you go. You're up then. It's all you. All right, so.
Well, I mean, if you had in your home arcade, you had a fully gimbaled racing machine, I would have to go. Wow, all right.
Okay, you'll give us that.
Only then, apparently.
Yes, right. That's a lot of dedication, right? So
Well, that'll give you the example. Jim McGarity just built that full cockpits. That.
yeah.
I mean, and I think that makes his space, and he uses that front room as a dedicated gaming room, basically.
Yeah.
So I think.
But then that's see now you're what's the difference between an arcade and a gaming room?
I think I'd still call it his arcade area.
Yeah, okay.
I really would. I mean, it's what he's doing in there. So, personal opinion. I think you can build an arcade without having to have an actual arcade machine. I think you can build a gaming arcade room.
It's not an arcade machine, it's an arcade cabinet.
Yeah, I think you can do it without having a pinball machine or whatever. So I just don't know if that's
Because the
absolutely mission
arcade
critical.
is just for gaming. It's a place for gaming.
But you can't do it without fascination. It's
Well-
the ball game that you roll and every.
Oh
board
God!
lag.
All right. Yes. I
Oh.
didn't realize the name of that game, so
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
no, it does not. All right. Well.
Well, apparently I've been shouted down.
Well, yeah, because
from the.
George agrees with us too. So
Sorry. But George, I was giving you yours. you can agree with me.
all right. So yeah, and again, it's just a question of having that that dedicated space. You said it right in the beginning, and I just think that's the only real thing. Are there niceties you can do to make it better? Yes. Yeah, if you got a stand-up machine, yeah, it's gonna make it feel more arcade-ish, most definitely.
Yeah,
right?
nice lighting.
Right. Thank you. Lighting gonna make it feel more
Spit out
arcade-ish.
tickets.
It's gonna make it feel
I was gonna
real
say
arcade-ish.
I was gonna say old popcorn.
Yeah, you
Oh,
know.
fuck.
The
But-
smell of urine.
Like, and look, look what Rob did with putting
Some
up all the
bad
cool
stuffed
Steve
animals on the
Harper.
wall.
Rob put all the cool artwork on his walls. That makes a difference. All that stuff just adds up. But I think the absolute minimum is just a dedicated space. You can do lots of other things to make it look cool, but just start with that dedicated space. All right? No, you're still not.
I'm not super convinced.
You're not sold on this.
I'm not super
Larry's
convinced.
being
I,
very-
No,
Old man yells at cloud.
Yeah,
I will yell at a clown.
he's telling the clouds to get off his sky.
Well, I mean, and I think it's probably because it's probably because I enjoy so many spaces like this that where you go to arcades and things like that, and it's like, okay, there's kind of this idea of what an arcade is. Even the old fashioned boardwalk ones, I said fascination and stuff, or there's these places where these things happen that aren't like your everyday life, right? And to sort of bring that home, there's got to be some elements that are special about it, that are not your everyday life,
Wait, are we in a studio right now?
Yeah, you bring it on, you bring the recording industry to a whole thing, so. dedicated.
Wait, according to Tom, it counts because they're set up all the time.
That's right. So
this
it
is what
does
is
count.
dedicated.
This is an arcade.
It's
apparently.
a dedicated area. No, there's no games in here, though.
We play games all the time.
Yeah, not like that, though.
Word games.
No, yeah, word games. Yeah, well, that's true. That we do. That we do.
There's a couple of
Mind
video game
games.
machines in here, isn't there?
Yeah.
But
there are,
besides,
actually.
but when
We gotta check
Travis
that.
was here, he was never not playing a game.
That's also true.
All right, for Travis, it's an arcade.
A dedicated area. He went to play
Yes.
games.
He was dedicated to playing games
All right.
in this area.
I guess dedicated space and somehow make it a little more special or different than your everyday life.
I think that
Somehow.
Yeah, somehow. Whether it's lighting, setup, but again, I
Playing
think
in your underwear.
right. I think the main thing is just to
No, that's your everyday life.
To
I was
have-
gonna say, you wear underwear.
to
when
have
you
a
play
space
video
where you
games?
can leave where your games are set up and ready to go. So so
Like everything you
if I want to go back and I want to
Don't
play the
wanna go on
2600,
accident.
2600's hooked up. Maybe I have to just the minimum I have to do is use the switch to switch over to the right monitor, and I can go.
Or swear at it while you try and
I
figure
can't
out
believe
how
I'm
to
being
use and
heckled.
program this thing
Yeah,
in the first
I
place.
remember that too. Yeah, that's so.
Or a sit-down racer.
I switch this
Or
way.
a sit-down racer.
I'm being heckled for the uprights.
You should be.
Yes, you should.
A bowling machine would be
got
okay too.
Yeah, I think a bowling machine counts as well. But again, this goes back to
Or the really great baseball machines.
you have set up two separate areas. You have a dedicated arcade area in your house.
How about a Fisher Price bowling game? Does that count?
Gotcha.
Set up? If I always got it set
No,
up?
it does not. There's no
You're
mechanical.
an asshole, Larry.
Yeah. You know what? On this topic, I'm going to.
We need to just get more beer in him. Maybe he'll be,
No, that won't help.
No.
I seem to be tightening up on this. Grip's coming
A
down.
lot more focus.
And I
I'll
know.
fill this with
I heard the warning in Star Wars: the more you tighter you
The
grip,
more will slip
the more
through your
slips through.
finger.
But
more you'll slip into. I mean,
Yeah. Okay, all right, Rob. I think we've beaten this topic to death.
Ugh, with it.
and where's the horse?
It's an arcade cabinet.
I don't know. It's sitting in Jonah's car, I think. He's driving around with it.
With a horse head on the seat next to him.
He's my son.
Yes, he is. All right.
So, don't forget our good friends over at Lionheart Racing. My neck's hurting. I'm gonna point up there.
Just point.
Yeah, Lionheart Racing. Check them out. You can go to www.guysgamesandbeer.net. Look at the top right corner, and you can clicky click. and
Right.
listen
They have a
here.
race in 2 days.
So
Click.
if you're listening now, 2 days, and when this probably drops today.
It's
It'll probably be past that race.
It could be. So if you're watching
Things are
us
going
live,
these days.
check them out Thursday. They've got a race going on.
Don't forget our friends at Not Your Parents' Basement in downtown Racine, Wisconsin.
Who were just on what's it called? Welcome Racine on Channel 4.
Yeah, 55.
Channel 55. Thank you. So yeah, they did a great interview on that. If you guys hadn't had a chance to watch it, go back and check it. They've got links to it on their website.
Were they wearing their jerseys?
They
Yes.
yes.
Yes, they were.
Yeah. So
Yeah. So it was exciting. It was
Yeah,
good for
That's
them.
sexy.
They're doing well. They're doing
great.
And
they've got big plans coming up too. So even better. So definitely check them out as well.
Yeah, we'll probably be doing another retro night there. We've been negotiating back and forth with that.
Yep.
Everybody's got a bad schedule.
I've had a tough schedule, but I've talked to them about maybe doing some board gaming there and
Nice.
You know.
Yeah, we got the Dark Tower there.
I know. Well, we should do Dark Tower there. That would be cool.
That would be cool,
That would be a
actually.
cool night of Dark Tower night.
Yeah.
And they've asked me about Bang. They wanna
Oh, good,
they
good,
wanna-
good.
They want to do a Bang night.
That would be freaking awesome.
So.
Not that kind of bang.
I know
Rob.
you'd like that.
All right,
I
Rob.
got the latest one, Finger Bang. That's pretty good.
Why don't you go ahead and take us out? But before you do,
Our
don't forget
misery.
to mention where.
Don't worry, we're gonna be at Gamehole Con in it's coming up.
Yeah, about 4 weeks.
Yep, in about 4 weeks.
Make your plans.
That's big.
Yeah.
Book your hotels.
Yeah,
Most of
and
them are sold
fair
out.
warning, man. The tickets for our event are selling out quickly. We are filling up on all our events. So
that's good.
Yeah, that's it. We're gonna be busy. So
The Larry Davis kissing booth only has 2 slots left.
that's
so
it. If you haven't gotten it,
Oh, and I know we've been really saying, hey, we're gonna do this Steel Battalion things, but we're still gonna do our regular things.
oh fuck yes.
So developers, and especially new developers, if you're out there and you want an opportunity to chat with us and talk about what you got going on.
Yeah, by
Maybe-
popular
maybe-
demand, we're doing more of those again this year. I know last year we did a little bit less.
Right, this year
So
we
this
will
year we're gonna
pour it on.
ramp it back up.
Might even be helpful if you contact us beforehand.
Yeah,
if you're gonna be out there and contact
Right.
us beforehand.
That way we can do a little research on whatever your new product is. We love hawking new games on the show. So if you're a developer, we like talking to you about what you did to get there. And you don't have to be necessarily a standard game developer. We've had quite the mix of people on the show out at Game Hall.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Artists, developers, we just love to show off the new stuff. In fact, some of the first games we discovered there are like Brewing USA. What's the
Three Pillars.
Three Pillars? What's that one game that we played camping?
Well, there was Bad Decisions,
No.
and there was Legends
Legends.
of Durex. Yeah,
Yes.
I know that was the hit of this year's campaign.
Oh, it was.
Again,
And these are all things we've discovered and
Yeah.
interviewed at
Yeah.
Game Hall.
Yep.
So if you want to watch some really cool interviews with developers, go back and watch any of our Game Hall shows. There's tons and tons of game developers on.
There'll probably be
that.
some orcs that want to chat with us.
There might be that as
they
well.
They're very political. Though,
Yeah, but
so,
they're not really great conversationalists. So, all right, Rob. Mention that we'll be giving away some games tomorrow.
Hey, we're gonna be giving away games tomorrow on what? What? Twitter?
On Twitter, Rob.
Guys,
Wait,
games,
Rob, do you
beer.
have one job on this ship?
I have one job on this ship.
I have like a million jobs on this ship. You
No, I have
fuckers
one
have
job.
one job.
I have one job.
No, because
Mine is.
he's like, hey, mention this. I'm like, you have now.
I know. I wanted it in that official Rob voice.
Well, everybody, I think it's about time that we head out.
Just like that.
Before.
Yeah, all right. So a couple weeks from now, we're gonna have video game designer Joe Kane on the show. We got another possible one coming up maybe next week or a couple weeks down. We're still negotiating that one, so I'll let you guys know when that starts happening. But it looks interesting as heck. So they sent us some prototype information on it. It's gonna be neat. They want to come on, so.
So we would love
All
to.
right.
And
But
again, we
sometimes
love
it doesn't
our
work out.
developers.
We have bad schedules, so. All right, so that is about it. I want to thank you guys very much for watching Guys, Games, and Beer. We will see you next Tuesday.
Lit up.
Boa.
Bye. Ooh, that went super smooth on the exit.
Oh, nice. It's always good to have a
Pretty
smooth
intro. So I don't know what was up with Facebook. Facebook's just rejecting the key, but when I check the key, it says the exact same key that I'm posting. So I have no idea what's up with their their streaming service right now.
I've been working on my radio and/or announcer.
Your announcer voice.
He's like, "Why are you doing this?" I'm bored today.
That is the best reason to work on your announcer
You just
voice.
went. Maybe you